Welcome back inside Raptors today, coming to you from the belly of the beast that is the Scotiabank Arena. Sherman Hamilton, Eric Smith, Akil Augustine, and unlike seasons past, there have been a lot of moves happening with this Raptors squad in season. One of the moves that I guess kind of surprising, kind of not, maybe depending on where you stand, was the Toronto Raptors released Markquis Nowell, two-way player. Everyone knows him as Mr. March Madness, Mr. New York City. Had a hell of a run last year at March Madness, but couldn't stay healthy with the 905 and the big club and didn't get a lot of run. I'll start with you, Eric. Your impressions on how this all played out for a young man who looked like he might have had a bright future.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously tough anytime, this happens to a young player. And I don't want to necessarily say high expectations, but I had expectations that he would have a shot. He would have a chance. And part of the reason I've shared the story a couple times, but going back to training camp, back in Vancouver in the fall, there was at least one day where, like, we were, given the chance to watch practice, full practice a couple days. There was one day where he was not just the best guard, but I think the best player on the floor for the Raptors. Like, he was knocking down shots. He was hustling all over the place in the scrimmage. He was in the battle at the point. Because I think it was, I don't know if it was the day that before Schroeder came or if Schroeder was maybe just doing work on the side. It was Nowell and Markquis Flynn going toe-to-toe. And he was up under Flynn's chin every time. And it got a little chippy at one point, to the point where Darko at the end of practice kind of, hey, we're all a family still. We have each other's back. And it's like that,
Jobs are on the line.
Anybody that's been there, it's a competitive edge in practice and stuff like that. So I kind of came away thinking, all right, this guy might have a little something. And to your point, if you can't stay healthy, and it becomes a numbers game, and the Raptors obviously have a size issue currently right now, I think it's just kind of a crunch. I hope he gets a chance somewhere else.
Yeah, and when you're in a situation like the Raptors are in, and you're trying to decide about young players and who you're going to invest in moving forward and how much time and resource, people get left on the outside. And it's unfortunate for him that his injuries didn't really allow him the consistency of the opportunity that was in front of him. But that's the nature of professional sports, and that's kind of how it goes. And the journey's not linear. He'll find his way in some other way and hopefully get another opportunity somewhere else to continue to build his career. So you wish him well, but that's just the nature of the numbers game sometimes. You got to make some decisions, and unfortunately, he was on the outside looking in.
Unfortunate news for the 905. They're going to miss those 15 points, 9 assists a game, and of course, he was supposed to be their representative at All-Star Weekend. Now let's talk about Kelly Olynyk, right? The Raptors made the move for him, and there were rumblings that they really liked what Kelly could bring, and they solidified that, sure, with the 2-year deal. Your impressions of exactly what appeals to the front office and this coaching staff, obviously, about Kelly's game and what he can do with a very young squad? Because people talk about timelines. He's a little older.
Yeah, first of all, I like the signing. I like the number. I like the length of the deal. I like how it fits. And I've said this many times, and I feel like a broken record. I always feel with a young core, you need veteran leadership.
Yep.
Not just the leadership in the locker room, on the bus, in the hotels, going out for dinner. That stuff is important. But on-court productive leadership as well as the other things. And Kelly at 32, who's been around the league, he's been in a lot of locker rooms, understands the game at a high level. I look at him and I think he fits perfectly with this group because he can still produce. He can still make these young guys better. His passing ability, the way he can space the floor, he's not shooting the ball well now, but he can shoot the ball better, and he has in his career, and you expect him to. But the way that he plays the game allows the young players, like the Grady Dicks, like the R.J. Barretts, like the Emmanuel Quickleys, like the Scotty Barnes, all these guys will benefit from his style of play. So his productivity on the court, with the fact that he's a vet, with the fact that the locker room he can help out, with the fact that he's from here, there's all kinds of synergies that, to me, make this a good deal. And you're not signing him to be that guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're signing him to be a part of this process. And I think it fits really well.
I can't say anything better than the way Sherm just said it. He hit it perfectly. Well, he just said so damn much. I don't know what else to say. But there's one thing between knowing your role and accepting your role. And I often use that line about young players, but I think it certainly applies to veteran players too. And I think when you look at Kelly, he understands that at this point in his career this is what is needed from him, and he's accepting that. And now part of the reason maybe that he's accepting is because he also loves being here, talking about in his press conference, this is where I've wanted to be. I've dreamt about this since I was 4 years old. So if you've got a vet that knows, hey, I'm not going to be playing 30, 35 minutes a night. I don't need to score 10 and 8 or 12 and 5 or whatever the hell it is. I'm here to play a specific role and be that kind of seasoned vet in the locker room and on the floor. That's exactly what you need right now.
And it also helps. You think about the summer that's coming up for Canada basketball. There's some good energy with that as well. Keeping him here, and he's signed. He goes into the summer. He can focus on the national team, and they've got a big task at hand. It just works well on so many levels, and it's more of a big picture overall thing that the Raptors are looking at. Beyond themselves, I think there's a piece of that that's involved as well.
Playing with his guy RJ too, that's going to help.
That's going to help for sure.
All right, so to my earlier point, unprecedented amount of in-season moves to this Raptors squad. So let's run through them, right? JFL gets converted into a regular NBA player. Moji on a two-way. Ramsey joins the team.
DJ Carton, yeah.
Carton, sorry. So, Eric, I'll start with you. 20 games left. Battle for play-in. Somewhat tank. How do these moves kind of allow this team to maneuver through this final stretch of the season?
This reminds me of way back in the day. People can look it up when Lenny Wilkins was coaching the team, and they were having a rough year to close out the season, and they signed Damone Brown to a 10-day. And Lenny, after the game, didn't even know who half the guys were, and he pretty much acknowledged it on the record. He's like, Damon didn't play that one. It's like, Damone. He's like, he just kind of shrugged. I don't even know who these guys are. These guys, though, we know who they are. They're going to be given an opportunity. There is no garbage time. They're trying to play for keeps right now. They're trying to show that they belong. And to that point, the one that sort of I like seeing, and not just because he played well last night, he's been playing well for the 905 all season. I'm interested to see what Freeman-Liberty can do, because I think he's got good athleticism. He seems to play with a lot of confidence. He's got a good NBA body. I think he could be something that the Raptors, give him 20 games here to close it out. This is a guy that I'd be tapping to say, yeah, I could see him as a rotation player.
And the point guard spot's kind of been an area where, they're trying to grow in.
Yeah, and this is just opportunity.
Yeah.
When you think about these guys that you just mentioned, all of them are in a situation where they're going to get chances to play. They're probably going to get extended times on the floor because when you look around, this team is going to be about this development and figure out who belongs, who doesn't belong.
Scotty ain't coming back. Yak ain't coming back.
Exactly. And I think that, a guy like Freeman-Liberty, when he hit the floor in that game against the Pelicans, he was about his assignment.
Yeah.
He didn't step outside the lines. He was focused defensively. He did a great job on Brandon Ingram for a stint there. And he did things good on the offensive end. So understanding the opportunity and being responsible with the opportunity is something I really look into, because some guys get the opportunity and they just go wild. They think it's their time to be wild. I want to see who's responsible with the opportunity, and that to me is where you can leave your mark.
All right, that's the perfect segue. It's now time to join Javon, three-man Freeman-Liberty.
Javon, Coach was just in here praising you for the energy you brought, especially in the second half. Obviously, a tough game, but what were your takeaways from it, personally?
Earlier, me and Coach had a one-on-one talk. He told me to stay ready, and I just feel like I stayed with that mindset through the night, and I stayed ready and came out there and gave everything I had.
Obviously, it's tough with some major injuries on this team, but it does create opportunities for you and other players like you. You just spoke about that mindset, but what else does that mean in terms of sort of the practicalities of more film study, talking more to other players, talking more with coaches?
Definitely. I feel like that I got that opportunity, God-given opportunity. But just like you said, just stick around, stay longer days, watch more film, and just always stay ready and just compete at my highest level I can.
Thanks for watching the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest video and subscribe for more.
Denied. Lead pass. Here's McDaniels. In a crowd. Wide open three.